Greetings programs, Atari here, you there, and welcome to another in our series on Arduino Basics. So it's not just LEDs, buzzers, and motors that the Arduino control. We can also use an Arduino to display text and even graphics. In this project, we're going to build a small fortune-telling device using the Arduino and an LCD. This is a 1602 LCD character display, which means it will display 16 characters over 2 lines. And it's just a simple alphanumeric LCD that uses a serial signal to display various text, numbers, and even ASCII pictograms. If you want to know more about these displays, go ahead and click the link up in the corner. Now let's wire the circuit. Now this is a fairly complex circuit, so I'm not going to go through all of the details here. I will refer you to the show notes so that you can see a much more clear version of this as a diagram. We have power and ground coming from the Arduino into the breadboard. We have a switch connected from the 5-volt to pin 8 on the Arduino with a pull-down resistor to prevent floating. We have a potentiometer connected to the LCD, as well as power and ground to control the brightness on the LCD. And then we have a series of pins on the LCD connected to the Arduino and to power and ground to control the data moving from the Arduino into the LCD. I'll put much more detail about this in the show notes down in the doobly-doo. Now let's take a look at our Arduino sketch. This line simply includes the liquid crystal library. A library is a shortcut to simplifying your code by including all the relevant functions over here in this piece so you don't have to keep coding and coding and coding them all over again every single time. The liquid crystal function creates a variable of the type liquid crystal. The display can be controlled using 4 or 8 data lines. If it's the former, omit the pin numbers for D0 to D3 and leave those lines unconnected. The RW pin can be tied to ground instead of connected to a pin on the Arduino as well. And if so, you need to omit that from the function's parameters. RS is the number of the Arduino pin that is connected to the RS pin on the LCD. RW is the number of the pin that's connected to the RW pin on the LCD. Enable is the number that's connected to the enable pin on the LCD. D0 through D7 are the Arduino pins that are connected to the corresponding data pins on the LCD. You shouldn't have to worry about data pins 4 through 8 right now. It's an option that comes down to design in more complex circuits, timing versus available pins, etc., etc., etc. And it doesn't really make a difference to the Arduino as long as the wiring and the code are consistent. Basically, does the Arduino use 1 or 2 clock cycles to push each character to the display? That's what we're really asking. In this case, we're only using 1 clock cycle per piece, thus we can have a 4-bit buffer. LCD Begin initializes the interface to the LCD screen and specifies the dimensions, width and height, of the display. Begin needs to be called before any other LCD library commands. LCD Set Cursor positions the LCD cursor. That is, it sets the location which the subsequent text written to the LCD is going to be displayed. Random simply generates a pseudo-random number from a minimum to a maximum, in this case from 0 to 8. Switch and case control the flow of programs by allowing a programmer to specify different code that should be executed under various conditions. In particular, a switch statement compares the value of a variable to the values specified in case statements. When a case statement is found whose value matches that of the variable, the code in that case statement is run. In this example, the reply variable contains a number 0 through 8 that correspond to a particular case, giving us a different output. Break can be used to exit from a for while or a do while loop, bypassing the normal loop condition. It can also be used to exit from a switch case statement, as we see here. Now let's upload the sketch and see it in action. All right, now we've got our little fortune-telling gadget. Our potentiometer controls the contrast on the screen, make it look nice and clear there, and then our button will give us an answer to the question that we ask. Oh great, it's Arduino. Will this video go viral and earn me $1 million? It's probable, but for that to happen, I need you to subscribe, ring the bell notification, and share this video on all the social media platforms. Now, your challenge is to see if you can program the LCD to use characters other than A through Z or 0 through 9. In addition, see if you can add lights or sounds or use a different sensor to trigger the effect. Let me know in the comments or at AirborneSurfer.com. Links down in the doobly-doo. That's where you'll find the show notes as well as the example code and the wiring diagram for this project. And that will conclude today's Arduino how-to lesson. To learn more about using the Arduino, click the playlist here and watch the entire series. And to get the complete show notes for this episode, including the sketches that are used, click the link right here. If you're interested in goofy electronics projects or learning more about various electronics platforms, click the subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything. My name is Atari, and until next time, tally ho, y'all.